I just hope that Adobe Connect is a bit more stable than yesterday.
Yes, yes, I have the same. Hallo?
Yeah, we'll start in a minute or two.
Это индус все-таки, что ли? Сабидуси, блядь. Ну да. Но по акценту все равно слышно. Чего? Маркус это как раз этот какой-то нерусь. Ну, в смысле нерусь, в смысле не индус, а немец какой-нибудь, или там швед, или...
All guests have been muted. You can unmute your line by pressing *6.
Hello, can you hear us now?
All guests have been muted. You can unmute your line by pressing *6. This meeting is now being recorded.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 10 Steps to S4 program. This is Marcus Andre speaking. I'm here together with Alessandro Sabidusi, and the two of us will guide you through today's session. Now, at the same time, we're the core team of the 10 Steps to S4 program, and over the next 2 weeks, so to say, when the program is running, you will mainly hear the two of us. Okay, so what is today's content? We'll briefly go over...
That I can confirm. Please try entering your passcode again, followed by the pound or hash key.
Sorry about that. We'll go over the objectives and some of the details regarding participation. We'll walk you through the detailed schedule. We'll then look at the system landscape that we make available to all the teams, and definitely the most important section, the resource profile that you have to provide on your side, and the way we intend to collaborate and exchange documents and also questions during the program. So this is going to last roughly an hour, I guess, for today, depending on the questions you will have. And as usual, for the questions, you can either use the chat window while we speak, or we will then have a formal Q&A session towards the end of the presentation. Okay, so the program objective. We created this 10 Steps to S4 program in order to help you learn.
Раз дебил вместо логина пароль вводит, то явно не
Alessandro, can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, okay, so it must be a local issue. So the idea behind the program is to help you experience a conversion. So we will, during that these 2 week program, will take you end to end through a full conversion, because we believe that we strongly believe that if you have done it before, it will be a lot easier to do it at the customer. So it's gaining experience.
To verify the number.
It's gaining experience, and hopefully then taking some of the documents that we provide, like a blueprint, to do conversions at a customer. So all the documents that we have created and that we share with you have the objective to actually help you or provide some sort of a blueprint that you can follow, that you can then color with your own ideas and extend it, but at least you have a starting point. So this is the overall objective in the program, to gain experience and to take you through a conversion end to end. There is a maximum of 27 partner teams per run. I think this time we will have 23. So we're almost full. There is a fee, but I think this is a fairly reasonable fee for the program. It's not related to the number of resources. So when we talk about the team registration at the end, you can name as many as you want to follow the program and work on the different work packages and activity guides. So it's up to you to set up a team. We believe that somewhere between 5 and 10 people is probably the ideal size to have 2 resources per subject matter area, and beyond that it's usually not very fruitful to have all these people listen to the presentations. This is okay, but then executing the tasks on the system, they will actually probably interfere with each other. So what we need, and this is something we'll go into detail a bit later, are the right skill sets. So as in every customer conversion, you will need some system architects. You will need some technical know-how, so technical consultants, bases, to do the actual conversion. But an S4 conversion is more of an application side activity. So the logistics and FI, CO guys, those are the most important ones in such a conversion. We have also included a developer profile because one of the preparation steps is typically to analyze and validate existing Z code that we will find in most existing customer systems. So that is the typical skill set or the skill mix that we need for a successful conversion. So looking at the overall system conversion, you're all aware that we can convert any system directly or let's put it, any system running on ECC 6.0, enhancement pack 0 to 8, can move directly to...
Is not a passcode that I can confirm. Please try entering your passcode again, followed by the pound or hash key.
To 1709. So that is path number 7, and that's actually the one we will be concentrating on during the program. So the source system that we make available to all of you is an enhancement pack 6 system. It's unfortunately the oldest we could find. But I think this is fairly okay, so it's still 10, 12-year-old software that we're converting. So this is the path that we will describe and execute during the program. Okay, so looking at the overall conversion process, the preparation phase, and this is again something that will where we will spend some time on, is actually or let me rephrase it, the HANA or SAP readiness check is typically an activity you will need to perform during let me call it the pre-sales phase for every customer. So without that, you're flying blindly, and this is almost a must for every conversion discussion in order to get a first feeling of how big that system will be, how critical it will be, how many items regarding the simplification list did those are all the things that you need to assess, and especially also the custom code. That's why we have the development or developer profile in the project team. If we're looking at 20 Z objects that we need to bring over or modify, or if we're looking at 20,000. So those are all activities you will need to perform during the readiness check, and typically this is a pre-sales task. We'll then move into the realization phase. So once we have executed all that and prepared the system, so there are some preparation activities like settings in FICO that we need to prepare, adjustments that we need to do on the business partner. So this is all
is not a passcode that I...
This is all executed, and then we can hand it over to the technical guys that will do the actual conversion, so the technical conversion, and then we'll continue with the application-specific activities after technical conversion. So this is all part of the program that we will take you through. Okay, and looking at the program. So we have cut that into work packages. Today's work packages is we call it the kickoff call. So it's more to get you aligned, to make sure that you know what to expect, how you will be connecting, and so on. So to get all the parameters laid out. And then when we start on April 16, we will go in work package 2. We'll have a chapter around readiness check. The maintenance planner will look at custom code options, so how to check and the different options that we have. We'll talk about business functions and add-ons that might be interfering with a successful conversion. So all the pre-activities or pre-sales activities or preparation activities that we will touch on. On work package 3, on Tuesday of that week, we will do the logistics preparation, as we call it. So it's mostly around the business partner, customer vendor integration, and at least we will discuss the material number extension. So those are the typical logistics activities. On Wednesday, April 18, we'll then prepare the finance side, perform a period closing, execute some of the manual tasks, being print some of the open item lists, a balance sheet, and so on. So these are typical closing activities. On Thursday, we'll then hand over to the technical guys that will actually run the technical conversion from ECC 6.0 Enhancement Pack 6 to S/4HANA 1709. So this is the work package on Thursday. And then you have, on Friday, we do not have a work package on the first week. So you basically can start here on Thursday with the conversion. And the idea is that this conversion is then through technically by Monday, April 23. So you have roughly 2 or 3 days to let that conversion run. You will also need that time because there is an expected runtime of approximately 30 hours to get that converted. On Monday, we will then continue with the finance conversion of the second week. So post-conversion tasks, so post-technical conversion tasks. We'll convert all the customizing to the S4 model, some adjustments on asset management and credit management. So mostly on the finance side on that Monday of the second week. On Tuesday, we'll then touch some cross-application subjects. First, the output management that you will be configuring, as well as PPDS. So we included a component that is technically part of that new system, but the license question is a different question, but we'll touch on that. But you will be asked to convert and activate PPDS in the system as we go. The last step on that task is to harmonize the architecture and PPDS, production planning, detailed scheduling. So this is a technical component formerly known from APO that is now part of the core system. And then we will harmonize the architecture to make or to move the application server from Windows to Linux, to have a pure Linux-based environment that you might also see as a requirement at customers. On Wednesday of the second week, so April 25th, we will have a double work package. So we'll roll out work package 8 and 9 on the same day. This will be one presentation where we first go through the configuration of the gateway, and the second is to then activate Fiori's, configure the launchpad, and so on. So this is again a larger work package on Wednesday of the second week, and then on Thursday we do not have a work package, so you have 2 days to work on the Fiori subject. And the last work package 10, is then on Friday, where we go into reviewing what we have done, feedback, and also sharing some of the project experience that we have collected from projects we have participated. So this is the program ahead of you. Now, we make available a system landscaper partner. You will be able to access that through remote desktop.
Ну круто, у нас песочница будет.
As you can see, you all get a source system, Enhancement Pack 6, running on Windows and SQL Server, and we will convert that source system to 1709 HANA Linux-based environment. So the technical conversion on a database level, then adding the Linux-based application server, and you also have a hub deployment of a front-end server. So the blue boxes are the boxes that we make available for all the teams. the gray boxes, so Adobe Document Services. This is a shared component that we have already installed, but you will be accessing that and configuring that from your application environment. Okay, so I can already see some questions regarding the RDP connection. As you can see, we have multiple green paths in here. So first of all, in order to simplify the technical conversion, this is path number 2. We allow direct connection to the source system to make life easier for the technical guys. Normally, you would access through path number 1 through the terminal server. You will get 2 user IDs to do or to execute the different tasks that we ask for. You just have to organize it on your end that people share those users and try to sit together to perform the tasks. So our experience has shown that even if we would give out more users, they would then start locking up each other. So make sure you organize that as a team, and then you will be fine. Okay, so this is
not a passcode that I can confirm. Please try entering your passcode again, followed by the pound or hash key.
Okay, so this is definitely something we also need to improve, is usage of Adobe Connect, that we have here a smoother session as we go. So this is the landscape that all of you will get. So we will provide a connection guide on how to connect to the landscape, and then this should not be a problem. So the only thing you probably need to check on your end if RDP outbound connections are not blocked by your firewall or security infrastructure. Okay, and as you can see, there is a connection guide that we provide. So every path that is shown in the drawing refers actually here to one of the chapters of the connection guide. So if I quickly come back, so path 1 is terminal server, path 2 is directly to the source system, and path 3 is directly to the future Linux-based application server. And if then you will look at the guide once we send that out, path 1, terminal server, path 2 to the source system, path 3 to the application server as we need it. So very straightforward at this point, and I think this should be feasible by all teams. Okay, so access to the infrastructure. This is what we call the cheat sheets that you will get. As said, we send out 2 user IDs per team, and the communication, if we send out documents, if we send out any communication, it will always go to the team leads, and the team leads should take care of the distribution inside your companies. So this is what you can expect in order to connect to the landscape. Having said that, I would like to hand over to Alessandro to take you through the rest of the presentation. Alessandro, it's all yours.
Thanks, Marcus, and good morning and good afternoon to everybody from my side as well. Alessandro speaking. I would like to guide you through the next sections, through the next topics of this kickoff call of 10 Steps to S4, starting from the resource profile, which is a really important topic for the today's session, because a lot of the things you will see today, you have already seen in today's presentation, will be important during the execution, but this part related to the profile for your team, it's important after this call immediately, because you will have to select your team, you will have to identify the right profiles, and you will have to, we see that afterwards, send back to us a list of people from your end that will participate to the program. So let's have a look to the different profiles that we required, as well as to the main activities that you can see in this slide. And we start from the basis consultant, so that's the senior technical consultant that has already some experience on doing OS and DB migration or updates. The main task for this kind of profile will be the technical preparation that will require to execute some reports, check some parameters, and so on. Then the same person or the same profile will execute the software date manager, which is the tool required for the migration to HANA and conversion to S4HANA. After the initial part in the work package 8 and 9, we will also require some technical experience in order to configure the gateway and the Fiori in order to enable the user interface. The second type of profile we are looking at is the ABAP developer. The ABAP developer should have experience on the ABAP code itself, and also on the different topics and the changes that are introduced by the HANA database. The main task for that profile are going to be at the beginning of the program on work package 2 in order to check the custom code. So there will be all the instructions and steps in order to perform a full check of the code in order to identify all those programs that will not run at all, or that will run with some limitations once converted into S4. And that is the main task. There is also a part related to SPDD and SPAO, so changes to standard object during the conversion to S4. In any case, this is optional, as you can see here. That is in Work Package 5. It is optional simply because it is really well documented, so typically also basis consultant can proceed and do the same activity. So up to you to decide to involve the ABAP developer also at that stage or not. So, afterwards, we have two really important profile or skill sets. The first one is a consultant that is that have experience on the application or functional side, on the finance part. In particular, we are looking at the accounting topic, which is or area, which is the most important one. And the main task in this case will be the preparation for the conversion. That includes also finance-related activities like the consistency check of finance data, the period closing activities that will have to be executed, and the different posting activities. And then after the technical conversion has happened, has been completed, there will be the activities related to the conversion from a finance point of view of the system. And this will include the conversion and migration of customizing, as well as the migration of the data into the new structures. So that's another important work package, and this work package 6, where they will have to be involved as the main profile or main person executing the activities. The second important profile is the logistic consultant, still the consultant on application side with experience on the logistics side. and the main task in this case are related to customer-vendor integration in order to synchronize all the customers, vendors, and contact person into business partner, and that is the part of the preparation part. And then we have also some explanation for the material number, for the material ledger, so that the consultants can be well prepared for the next conversion. Okay, now that we have seen how the team should look like, let's have a look to the content of the different work packages. Here you can see a typical content for a work package, and starting from work package 2, you will see all these documents appearing into the gem group. I will come to that in a second. And from there you will be able to download and use the documents. Now let's have a look to the structure of these documents so that you can from the beginning well understand how to use those and how we have produced the different documents. The first one on the left-hand side, called the presentation, is for example the one that we are using right now for this session. There will be one presentation for each of the work packages, and we will use that during the call in the morning in order to explain to you the concepts and all the surrounding important topics for the current work package. So this will be used, and it will be also available for you to download, to check, to verify, to go again through that, and so on. So that's one thing. The second document that you will find for each work package is something called prerequisite document, and this is you will see that clearly because there is always this prefix PRE that stands for prerequisites, and this is a document that contains everything that we could have done in advance for you before you start the activity. So there are some activities that are typically required for that specific task, but we have decided to do those activities in advance. The reason is really easy, and we don't think there is a lot of value in just having you implementing notes or doing manual activities that are quite easy, quite sequential. So we have decided to pre-do all these activities for you, but we do know that you will have to do those activities once you work on your customer's project, and for this reason we have documented everything step by step, and there in these documents you can find those steps, those tasks that we have already done in a documented way. So in this case, you can use the same document during your customer projects in order to do the same activities again. On the right-hand side, we have the activity document, which is your guide through the different tasks that are involved in a specific work package. Normally we have this prefix called ACT, and this document is the one to follow. There are all the steps that are documented with screenshots as well, so that you can follow the sequence and execute all the different activities that are related to the work package. We have work packages where we have more than one prerequisite and activity document, simply because we wanted to distinguish a little bit different tasks that maybe are also related to different profiles or to different parts of the execution. Some other times there is just one prerequisite and one activity document, depending on the complexity and content of the work package itself. So these are the documents you should expect and the content of the every single work package. I was saying before that those documents will be published in a GEM group. Here we can see a couple of screenshots of the GEM group that we'll be using for the April session. At the end of this presentation, you will also see exactly when to expect invitation to this whole package and how to identify the people that will be invited. But for now, let's focus on the GEM group itself. Here, as you can see, you will have the possibility always to access and to check the documents for the current whole package, as well as to collaborate with us, asking questions in the forum that is part of the GEM group itself. So it's a place where we can interact as a first level of communication, as well as the place where you can find the documents and the recording of each session. So if you have missed a call, you can always come here and check the recording, listen to that, and then continue downloading the documents and starting the activities. So this is the GEM group that we'll be using. You will be invited to this GEM group, and you will be using this GEM group during the 2 weeks of the execution. Now, we do know that from the experience from the previous 2 years that the content of this program is going to be evolving during time, and also that it's good to be in touch with the other teams, with the other colleagues from all over the world that have done the program with you or that have done the program in general. So we have decided to create an additional GEM group that is called the Alumni 10 Steps to S4 group, and this specific GEM group is basically there in order to join all the different people that have previously executed a session of 10 Steps to S4. That practically means that at the end of the execution, so by the end of the execution of 10 Steps to S4 at the end of April, you will be invited as well to the 10 Steps to S4 alumni, and at some point then after some days we will also close the current 10 Steps to S4 GEM group for the execution, simply because execution will be over. And at this point, you can then always access the 10 Steps to S4 alumni in order to get the latest and greatest documentation about the program. So whenever we will do an update, for example, this year in September, we will have 1809. So whenever we will plan and execute the new 10 Steps to S4 on 1809, then on the alumni group, we will publish the latest documentation, and you can access the group, and without re-executing the program again, you can get simply the latest documentation. So that's the alumni part. And let's have a look now as a next topic to the communication channels, which is another really important part, because obviously you should know how to interact and communicate with us. On the left-hand side, you can see the first communication channel that is also the most important communication channel, because every question that is related to the execution of the steps, because maybe executing you have a doubt or you have an error or you are facing an issue, and then all these things should be asked and posted into the GEM group directly. There we have one room or one folder for each of the work packages. Every day you will see that appearing in the current work package, and you can ask your question directly there. We will monitor the GEM group and answer to all the questions, but you will see, and that has been the case always with the previous session, that also your peers, so the other group that are executing the same program, will interact with you in that room. So we have seen a lot of great collaboration between groups in the previous execution, and I'm sure it's going to be the same for additional groups that are having the same issue, that maybe already solved that issue, will be able to collaborate with you and to basically maybe answer your question or give you some additional details. So for all these reasons, this is the main communication channel that we ask you to use. And we do have also on the right-hand side an email address. That's a specific email address for the 10 Steps to S4. We ask you to use this email address that is closely monitored instead of our private email address or SAP email address from Marcus and myself, simply because it's monitored constantly, and we can avoid to overlap answers if you write personally to Marcus, me, or Oliver. So here you can send emails if you have an urgent topic, if you can connect to the system, for example, of something that's that is urgent or that is not related to a specific work package execution, and you will see that all the communications from the 10 Steps to S4 team will also be sent out from this email address. Okay. We are already towards the end of the call, so we would like to start with the call to action for the next days, and then afterwards we will also come to some deadlines or dates so that you can have in mind what are the next steps, as well as by when they should be performed. As I was saying, let's start from the beginning of this slide. The first thing you should do right after this call is to define the team. So you have seen the resources, now you have also seen a description of the different steps of the different work packages. It's clear now why the different people are required, or why the different skill sets are required. So what you should now do is to identify those persons that will participate, and after this call you will receive an email from this mail address, SAP 10 Steps to S4, where we will also attach the presentation of today, so that you can revise that or check again some of the details. And using the template that we provide in this email, you should send back an email to us, to this mail address, with all your team members. The team members will be identified by their first name, last name, and the email address. And once we receive all those registration, the members will then receive the invitation to the Jam group that you have previously seen, so that every single team member is invited to the group, obviously, and can access, can ask questions, can download the documentation, check the recording, and so on. And also, it is all people, all team members are invited to every call that we are doing. So all the sessions, and this is basically regardless their profile, so that they can clearly decide if they want to participate to all the calls, to some of the calls, or only to the calls that are related to their specific skill set or activity. So that's up to the team member. By default, every team member will be invited to every session. The most important part of this slide is the sentence that says, make sure that your team has the time. And I would like to spend a couple of minutes on that specific topic. The program itself, as you have probably already got from the scheduling that Marcus explained, so from all the work packages and the day, it's really tight in general. So we have tried to condense the overall steps and activities in the 2 weeks, which means is not the kind of program you can execute on a side, doing also some customer activities or project at the same time, or is not the kind of program you can follow from 6 p.m. onwards. So it is really important that whenever you identify the people for the team that should register for that specific skill set, you identify people that have time to dedicate to this program. So they should be free from other projects and activities in order to have the possibility to participate to the call, to ask whatever questions or doubts they have, and then to go and execute all the activities in the system. So make sure you have these kind of profiles. Obviously, as we have said previously, you can identify more than one person for a task if you want to have a backup or if you want to have additional people listening to that part. But it is important that at the end, the people executing the different tasks and responsible for the different work packages will have the right time to do that. So make sure to keep in mind this part or this concept when you define your team, so that you can also be sure to execute all the program till the end, get the certificate, and do a successful execution of this program, and not just listening to some of the calls and then not having the time to go through the task. A lot of the work packages have dependencies, obviously, because that's a process that goes from beginning to end. So if you miss your finance consultant, for example, to prepare the system for the conversion, then it's going to be really difficult to go on with the technical part because you don't have the finance preparation done and so on. So it is important not just that some of the people have the right time, but all of them have the right time. Last but not least, we have seen that some of the teams have not yet paid the participation fee, so please do that before the start of the program, because it's really important from our point of view in order to pay all the infrastructure part. Deadlines, that was also one of the question. So the team registration deadline, it's the 11th of April. So we give you until then to send back to us the mail you have seen with all the different team members. So please fill that mail and send it back to us by April 11th. Also, please take the time to do that. Sometimes we see 5 emails sent back because the first one had an error, the second one as well, and so on. So take all your time, define the team. The most important part is to receive that mail back by April 11th. After that, we will then take some time in order to process all those information, and on April 13th, we will send out the rollout sessions with all the invites to your calendar, as well as the Jam group invitation. So all those things will be sent out on the Friday before the start of the program, so that you have all the different invites. You have the schedule anyhow in this presentation, so you can start, obviously block your calendar blocking the timelines for the execution, but the different invites will be sent out on April 13th. And last but not least, the connection guide together with the cheat sheet will be sent.
Is not a passcode that I can confirm. Please try entering your passcode again, followed by the pound or hash key.
Okay, sorry for that. I was saying connection guide and cheat sheet will be sent out to the team leader only. So in this case, it's not to everybody, but it's only to the team leader. And this will happen on April 15th.
Is not a passcode that I can confirm. I'm sorry, but I'm unable to connect you to the meeting. If you need assistance with your passcode, please contact your host directly to verify the number.
Okay. I was saying connection guide cheat sheet April 15th. There is no need to previously connect to the system or to do a previous connection. So you will receive that the day before the start, and then in Word Package 2, one of the topics discussed and one of the tasks that we ask you to do is exactly to connect to the system, to try the connection, and we are there to support you, obviously, if there is any issue on doing that. So these are the deadlines as well as the dates. So make sure you know this and you communicate this also to the different team members, so we avoid people asking why the GEM group invitation has not been sent on April 12th and so on. These are deadlines from your end as well as from our end to send you back the details and the different invitations. That said, we are at the end of what we wanted to present you for this call, so we can have the question and answer session right now. We have seen already a lot of questions. Thanks, Marcus. I saw you answered already probably all of them. So if you have additional questions, you can either use the chat window, just type in your question, but you can also ask directly over the phone. You just have to press *6 to unmute your line, and then you can ask your question. Okay, we see people typing.
На фоне по-русски говорят.
The team registration template is going to be sent out after this call, so expect to receive that. The template will be sent out.
Is not a passcode that I can confirm. Please try entering your passcode again, followed by the pound or hash key.
Ну я и говорю, что сейчас там такой...
Sorry for that. I was saying that it will be sent out, but not to every participant of this call, because we have 200 people and only 23 teams. So it will be sent out.
Is not a passcode that I can confirm. I'm sorry, but I'm unable to connect you to the meeting. If you need assistance with your passcode, please contact your host.
Okay, should have been gone. Sorry, there is somebody trying to use the callback feature every 2 seconds. I was saying that the mail will be sent out to the team leader that right now are the people who registered for this program. So the person who registered specifying the email address, name and surname will receive an email that contains the registration template. And then you can decide if that person will be sending back the information or if the team leader should change for whatever reason, then you can just align inside the company, the team, and decide who is the team leader. And the most important part is that the team leader sends back this email template with all the people listed.
Okay, so the question regarding the connection to the system, yes, we will send out, as Alessandro pointed out, on April 15th, the cheat sheet and the connection guide. So you will have enough time to check that on Monday morning. Don't worry about that. It works fairly well.
Follow-up interaction of this training. The follow-up interaction is the alumni jam group. So after the training itself, you will be able to interact with us or with the other people who participated in the alumni part. In terms of additional work packages or advanced content, no, we don't have that. We are obviously improving and changing the content of this program over the time, but we don't have a 10 steps to S4 2 or advanced part. So that is what is available.
Я так понял, что он немецкий знает, а не английский. Ну.
The time for the call in the morning is exactly the same time of this call, so it's 9 a.m. CET, Central Europe time, and then depending on the work packages, some of them will last for 1 hour, some of them 1 hour and 30 minutes, some of them 2 hours. It depends a bit on the type of content, the number of topics, and so on.
Про 10 дней на английский.
Every single intro session or work package session will be recorded, yes, and provided, and the link will be provided in GEM. Directly after, there is, let's say, a technical time because the recording needs to be elaborated, so it's typically 1 hour, 1 hour and 30 minutes. But whenever this is available, we will obviously post it in GEM so that you can review that.
Продал сферического коня в вакууме и обещал поддержку.
Okay, any other question, any other doubts? Okay, we still see people typing, so let's wait some additional seconds, minutes.
Ну, как будет дальше обучение двигаться, что дальше делать?
While we are waiting, I remind you that you can also just press *6.
Ну, есть набор инструкций, да.
Unmute yourself and then ask the question directly. If you don't...
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hello, this is Alexander Patan. One question regarding the SAP readiness check. Yes. Is there any ready-to-go, let's say, tool that will check the current configuration, customizing on the SAP system and check what is needed, for example, according to the simplification list? And is there any automatic tool that will check it, or we have to find out all the details via the simplification list and confront it to the current customization, let's say, manually?
Yeah, there is a tool that does that. It's a report that runs on the ABAP side and checks basically two things. One is the part related to the simplification list, as you have said, and then for each of the items in the simplification list, there is also a part related to the customizing or the data maybe that should be checked in order to prepare the system and so on. This is all part of the work package 2. It's called pre-checks. If you look to the scheduling or to the table with all the work packages, and we will go through that topic, so you will be able to execute yourself the pre-checks report and check the content and see how this works during the Monday 16th of April.
Okay, is that tool available for partners as an add-on? Yes. Or okay?
No, it's included. You install it with the note. But again, I would, if you want to have more details, I would recommend you to attend the Work Package 2 on the April 16th, and there we will explain you how to install it, how to use it, and you will be able then to do it yourself because it's part of the activities you have to do. But yes, it's free of charge, it's included, and it's everybody can use it. It's part of the mandatory activities of every conversion.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I don't see additional questions so in the chat, so unless there are additional questions over the phone, it seems not. So one question. Okay, other hands-on, yes, we have other hands-on training that we are offering on other scenarios as well. We have Demo 21 for the demo environment. We have recently released one hands-on that is on-site and not remote about the new implementation with data migration part. So yeah, we have other things. They are all published and available in Partner Edge. So you can go there and check if you are interested to other scenarios as well. Okay, said that, let me close the call. Thank you very much for the participation. We will talk to each other for sure at the beginning of the session, so on the 16th of April for the Work Package 2. Meanwhile, make sure you identify your team and you send back by the 11th of April all the team registration. We will send you the mail template as well as this presentation in just a few minutes after the end of this call. If you need to contact us, here you can see the email address that I have also shown you before. So it's the SAP 10 Steps to S4 at sap.com. You can reach us. You can reach out to us with that email, and you will also receive the invitation to the Jam group, where you can obviously start looking and collaborating or asking questions directly. Thank you very much from the two of us, and talk to you again on the 16th of April for the start of the Work Package 2. Bye-bye.